Okay.
Um, yeah. Can I ask my first question now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you tell us more about your viral single Mariposa?
Mhm.
Go,
Mariposa.
Joseph.
Mariposa.
Oh, Mariposa. So the way I came about the song, it started in my room at a time where I wasn't really confident in like my guitar playing skills or song making skills. And one day I was just playing these chords and I heard this melody in my head, which was the hook. And it all came organically. Um, Also, it was like an hour or two before work, and it took me 4 hours, so I ended up being late to work for 2 hours, but it was all worth it. Um, yeah, that's
It's
about
one of
it.
it's one of my favorite songs we've ever done.
So why did you call this song Mariposa?
We called it Mariposa because there's this area in Yosemite, which is an hour from where we're at right now, and Yosemite holds like a special place in my heart. And like when I heard the chords and the lyrics and the melodies, it just reminded me of that special place.
And Mariposa also translates to butterfly in Spanish, so we kind of ran with that for the video, and kind of like the theme of the visuals and whatnot.
Yeah, it's also butterfly. I think it's Filipino. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, so Mariposa was released in 2019 last year, and this year it went on Spotify Philippines Top 50 viral chart at number one. So
Wow.
it also has now over 20 million streams. So how does that make you feel, guys?
amazing! I didn't even know it was number one on that chart, but that's
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
Wow.
That makes me feel really, really happy.
Number one. Thank you. Thank you for telling us that.
So how was your group form?
So these guys were all friends before I moved, but I moved into their city, into their high school, and we started hanging out, playing basketball, just doing stupid stuff. And I made music at the time. I would record and then put it on CDs and kind of like hand them out, put it up on the internet. And slowly but surely, like each of them started like joining me. And before we knew it, Dom decided he wanted to do music for the rest of his life. And he started putting in a crazy amount of work, lots of hours in the studio. And we all started working together as a unit, like more often and often. And then we started forming the Peach Tree Rascals sound. And then once we had a certain amount of songs that we were comfortable releasing, we just put them out. We formulated the plan to put them out, and then that's how it started.
So how did you come up with the name Peach Tree Rascals?
George?
I came up with the name, or most of the name for. I came up with Peach Tree Village originally, about like a week before the first song came out, and then they didn't like Village, so Isaac came up with the word Rascals, and it worked perfectly to. It fits us more now than it did back then. Like we're more attached to it now since we've grown with the name, so it feels more special now than it did before. Peach Tree Rascals.
So the members of the group are sons of immigrants. So how do you manage to work together despite some differences in cultures?
Well, I mean, despite differences in our cultures from back home, we all grew up in the same city, around the same people, and in the city we grew up in, there's cultures that come from everywhere, and there's a lot of first generation, second generation immigrants from different countries, and whatever you're about to say.
And it's like where we grew up has its own culture too.
Right.
So like all of us, and like that's what brought us together too, is like all of us come from different cultures, but we were united by like the culture of the area we were in, which was like the Bay Area and San Jose. And it's just something that, we just hung out and we liked each other. We had fun with each other, and that's just how any friendship is.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that we started making music, and now we're here. Like, years later.
So what's that immigrant mentality that comes through the way you approach the project and your work ethic?
So if I were to attribute it to anything, it's just watching our parents. Well, I mean, we didn't watch them come to America, but they came to America trying to build something for themselves and for their future family, which is us. So that kind of like start from nothing and do what you can with what you have has been embedded in us since we were like little. And whether it's conscious or not, that's definitely come to fruition as we've like started working together and trying to reach our goals.
Can you tell us about your creative and songwriting process?
Joseph?
So usually it starts off with me, Dom, or my cousin Jasper. It comes with the chords first, and then after we build off of the chords, Isaac and Tarek and me and Dom will come up with melodies. And usually when we make songs, we're not really aiming for like a type of emotion. It's just what the chords provide. And yeah, that's about it.
So, any plans for an album or an EP this year?
There's no plans for an EP or album this year. We are working on a bunch of stuff that I don't know if we could talk about it or not, but we'll be releasing songs basically monthly for the rest of the year. And then as far as the EP, as far as the EP or album goes, we'll leave that up to next year.
Yeah. So no EP, no album this year, but a lot of music this year.
Lots of music.
Lots of
That's
music.
good. That's good. So, it said in your bio that you make music that meets at the junction of jazz, funk, hip hop, and R&B. So, why the various genres?
It's just a way that each of our individual like tastes in music and inspirations, when we all work together on one song, each of our inspirations come out, and each of our inspirations are like a little bit different than each other's. So when you put that all together, it kind of creates that like that mix of all of them, and in doing that, it makes its own thing, something a little bit fresh and brand new.
So, who are your musical influences?
For me personally, my favorite rapper of all time is Kendrick. I love Kanye West. I love Frank Ocean, and those mainly inspire me on the lyrical side. And then these guys have inspirations that could probably explain the musical side of things better.
So a couple of my musical inspirations would be John Mayer, Alabama Shakes, Rex Orange County, Tyler the Creator. Also, some of the artists that Isaac mentioned as well.
I would say Post Malone. Hello? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love Post Malone. I love Frank Ocean. I love Chance the Rapper.
Tierra Whack.
Tierra Whack, Harry Styles, Justin Bieber. I like a lot of people. I like a lot of artists.
Also the Beatles.
And the Beatles.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah. George likes Metallica. No.
So how would you, how would you guys define music?
Define our music?
Yeah, what is music to you?
Well, music to me is just life. It's like there's not much more to life than music and family for me personally. So being able to do this at this level is extremely special for me, because anytime there's a low or a dark time, either listening to music can help fix that, or writing music can help fix that. And it's just been a cathartic avenue that I've used my entire life.
And I think that speaks for all of us.
Yeah.
So any dream collaborations or anyone you'd like to collaborate with in the future?
I would love to work with Kendrick Lamar and Kanye.
Frank Ocean, John Mayer, Paul McCartney,
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, Post Malone.
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande,
Everyone.
Tyler the Creator.
Chance the Rapper, Tierra Whack. There's a lot.
A lot.
We love
Yeah.
a lot of artists. We would collaborate with a lot of artists that we listen to.
So where do you draw your inspiration in creating music?
Inspiration comes from just about anything, like whether it's a weird situation that happens earlier in the day, like we could write songs based off that. A lot of inspiration behind the lyrics comes from the music, that like chords that Joseph and Dom play, and we kind of go off that mood.
For me personally, I draw a lot of inspiration from like being out in nature, and yeah, just about that.
I agree.
Yeah. So with the Black Lives Matter being a hot topic in America now, have you ever experienced discrimination as an artist or because of your race? If yes, how do you deal with it?
Wait, can you ask that again? We couldn't hear you that well.
With the Black Lives Matter being a hot topic in America now, have you ever experienced discrimination as an artist or because of your race? If yes, how did you deal with it?
I like there will always be discrimination when you're a minority in America, and having grown up with Black friends and family friends, like you witness that firsthand, and it sticks with you because there's no reason for anyone to be treated higher than someone else because of their ethnicity or the color of their skin. And just watching that while growing up, it kind of like, I don't know, created some type of like fire. And it's good to see that the movement is starting to gain traction more and more, and people are no longer able to ignore it because it's in their face. And at the end of the day, we just want like what's right to happen for my friends, our brothers, our sisters, everyone in the Black community.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah. So how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected and impacted you as an artist? How are you coping with it also?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I've been
Yeah,
answering
so
so much.
like the way we work and the way we've been living is similar to being quarantined. Like a lot of our time, like before the lockdown and before any of this happened, we spent like in the same place making music. And when the quarantine hit, the only way it really hit us, sadly, was our shows. We were gonna go on tour and perform and travel and finally get to see our fans, but we were really heartbroken that we couldn't do that. But at the same time, it let us like use the time to stay with our families and keep on creating music and just keep on preparing, so when we are able to go back out on tour, everyone is hopefully healthy and we can get back. And sorry, there's a B, but so we can just get it back and finally see our fans. And this time is just making us want that even more, so the excitement is only growing.
And my last question is, what's your message to your Filipino fans who supported you, who streamed your music?
First of all, thank you for making us doing music for a living a possibility. Thank you for connecting on an emotional level with us. We can't wait to see you. Really excited to play shows in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And please just keep supporting, because we do this for you.
Do this for you, and we want you guys to know that you guys can do it too. And being creative, especially at times like these when you're stuck in the house and you can't go out and do like spend time with people, just be creative and use like whether it's drawing or dancing or singing or writing, just anything you can to just keep your mind going and like express yourself and be yourself at all times, and really surround yourself with people that you love and people that help you become a better person.
Yeah, for the sake of my talents, you can just identify, can you just state your name? One by one.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Joseph.
I'm Tarek.
I'm George.
I'm EJ.
And Dom is not here right now. He's inside. But we
Uh,
are Peach Tree Rascals.
yeah, so Joseph, you are, I think, half Filipino, right?
Full Filipino.
Full Filipino. So, like, can I ask about your Filipino roots, like where your parents are from? Like, do you still, how Filipino are you?
Oh yeah. My mom is from Manila, and my dad is from Boracay.
Yeah, it's
And,
good. So how Filipino still are you? Like, you still eat Filipino food? Like, do
oh
you?
yeah, we're about to cook adobo tonight. Me and Jasper. Jasper, you wanna
That's
cook?
my that's
Jasper
my
Colvin.
favorite Filipino dish right now.
This
Get
is
the adobo.
my cousin Jasper.
Hello.
Hello.
He plays the guitar in all the songs, and he also produces a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoy your adobo.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you
Love you
so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, guys, and have a great day.
You
Yeah.
Have a
too.
great day.
Have a
Love
great day.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Right. Thank you, Sir Mark.
Thank you.
So, guys,